Hello, today I would like to share with you what I've learned about the newest sub, Torpedo, and for it to maybe help you along in using this weapon. This is my day one impression, so it may not be complete, and I advise everyone to always continue their study and strive to improve. Without further ado, the Torpedo is a sub that when thrown can hone in on enemies similar to the auto bomb in some ways. After releasing the sub button, the Torpedo travels a short distance before searching for enemies in a short cylinder around it. Upon its first detection, it will prime and begin honing in on the enemy. A primed Torpedo can be shot down with even the smallest of shots from enemy ink, since it only has 20 health. Notably, the Torpedo costs less ink than most sub-weapons, requiring a base of 60 ink instead of the standard 70. Being shot down nullifies everything that the bomb could have been, many explosives and all. The payoff for it touching down is one large explosion that does 60 damage near, 35 far, plus a shower in 8 directions of mini explosives that do 18 damage and ink even more turf. The homing in can even detect stealth enemies, as well as highlights the target in a manner similar to Tenta missiles. The homing phase keeps track of the enemy it locks onto, until it begins moving towards them, indicating where it will land with a marker also similar to Tenta missiles. The short cylinder detection area means that the Torpedo will always be close in height to whoever it's targeting upon being primed, meaning that having an opponent need to look up high to shoot it down will only be the case if they lower their own height. This, however, does not prevent you from making throws that go behind the opponent, trapping them in a way similar to a well-placed rear suction bomb. The detection phase ends as soon as the thrown and unprimed Torpedo touches any terrain, meaning you can't do any trick shots before priming. However, rolling the sub like a splat bomb is an option. The unprimed Torpedo does 35 damage at far range and 60 on close, just like the primed bomb, minus the additional extra explosives. The turf inkage of this sub is phenomenal as far as sub-weapons go. Upon throwing the sub-weapon, a large area of ink will be placed at your feet, followed by even more extra ink being dropped as the Torpedo primes. These both add to the large area covered by an explosion, and to the larger area also claimed by the mini explosives. As far as abilities go, adding sub power-up to this sub increases the velocity of the thrown projectile, and the speed it flies at after being primed. Ink Saver sub is not recommended with this weapon, as double Torpedo is not possible. Before the second Torpedo can be thrown, the primary Torpedo has to have either exploded or been shot down. This applies as well to a rolled Torpedo. The vulnerability of the Torpedo after priming it makes it not very useful if it is activated where an opponent is already shooting. Throwing to the side or even back of an opponent is heavily recommended. However, head-on approaches are very easily supplemented with a rolled Torpedo. This sub really shines against longer ranged or slower rate of fire weapons where the cost to shoot it down is greater, meaning a retreat or damage to the enemy is much more likely. Be sure to keep in mind that even the most well-placed Torpedo can still be shot down, but in that action it is very often the opportunity for an approach to secure a kill. Overall, this weapon is very similar to an auto bomb, while also coming with its own pros and cons that make it enjoyable with each difference. It offers a wide set of tactical situations to apply it in, and it's plenty of fun to get to use, thriving among the more chaotic circumstances that can be seen on the field. Have fun out there, and thank you for tuning in.